I quit my job to start trading, and many people will probably do this, thinking that trading is something that can elevate their lifestyle in any way you can imagine. And this is real for me as well. The reason behind it might be different than others people's reasons, but what really attracted me to trading was the freedom that you can get, and the fact that you don't have to work for somebody else, and the fact that you can manage your time in the best way possible for yourself, and that you can only work, a couple of hours a day without having to spend enormous amounts of hours away from home, and so on and so forth. So this is why I decided to do it, because as a person, I never saw myself working for anybody. In fact, it was always very difficult for me to dedicate a lot of time to other people and to know that I can achieve so much more in my life. But I was never able to do that because, just the job was just consuming a lot of my time and my energy. So what I've done is that I worked really hard in the past maybe 5 years, time in which I've saved some money that will now allow me to actually dedicate towards trading. Dedicate a lot of my time now towards trading because I'm not constrained by having a normal job, or let's put it like a 9-to-5 job, which I didn't have a 9-to-5 job. I worked as a chauffeur, and I pretty much worked non-stop for the past maybe 5 years. That is something that I've done with an intent, because I always knew I wanted to have something outside the, let's say, normal day-to-day life. I always wanted, and I always saw myself as, more independent and more free, and, just dedicating time and spending time with myself, because this is something that really gives me pleasure in life. Spending time with myself, just spending time with my close friends, with my family, and just making sure that, I have a routine, and, I eat the right things, and, I do have time to, just look after the quality of life. And so trading for me was really the vehicle to take me to where I wanted to be. Although when I discovered trading, obviously, I didn't really know what trading was about. And the reality of it is that trading wasn't what I expected. It became a psychological battle. It's just an insane amount of fear that I had and have to face. Self-doubt, overthinking, just the fact that I needed a lot more certainty in my life than I thought. So I have years of material here, because whenever I started trading for the first time, I thought like, this is so easy. You just read the charts and then you place a trade here, place a trade there, and whatever is going to move in your direction. And then if it doesn't, then the next one is going to work. Although it's not about the charts, which is the reason why I also wanted to start this channel, because ever since I discovered trading maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I started trading. And I do have a bit of experience in terms of how this whole business works. Although I never really managed to do it consistently. I never really managed to actually be behind the charts every single day, and to have a routine, and to actually do this with a proper intent. So it's been more of a roller coaster for me, because I've had months where I could just trade consistently, and then months where I just couldn't do anything because I would lose motivation in a second. But then I decided that if I really want to make this happen, if I really want to just take the big leap, I must fully dedicate myself to it, because trading, in my opinion, is not a craft that you can master by, just like doing it here and there. It's something that you can master by putting the work in, by, just analyzing everything that goes wrong and analyzing the things that go good as well. So to me, that was the key. That was the shift. When that happened, when I had that realization, I was like, okay, fine. I need to dedicate the years of my life, some years of my life. And then if I really want to make this happen, I must make it happen the proper way. And here I am. This is the point in my life where I just decided to quit my job, which is something that I've done last month. I have saved some money so I can have a runway of probably a year and a half to actually dedicate myself towards trading and to do this the proper way. And the thing that bothers me the most right now is that I don't know how exactly things will turn out, which again has to do with a lot of uncertainty and self-doubt, because I'm taking a huge gamble here. Not gamble when it comes to trading, gamble when it comes to myself. Because this is something that scares me in a way that, losing 5 years of work in just 1 year and a half trying to make this happen, it's a big bet. And in case this is not going to work out, then obviously I have to return back to my job. So this is a big bet that I'm taking on myself, and this is actually the beginning. Hence why I wanted to start this channel, because this channel isn't going to be about showing winning trades. It will be about documenting my journey, and it will be about the things that happen to me on a weekly basis, and what the real challenges are. Because I think this will be very beneficial for a lot of people, having somebody who's willing to walk the path into uncertainty. And I'm not saying that everybody should quit their jobs tomorrow. Everybody's life situation is different, and everybody has different responsibilities. I was just in a very fortunate position where I don't have that many, responsibilities in my life. I don't have children. I don't have a family to sustain. I do have enough savings, so I'm in a very fortunate position in my life right now that actually allows me to do that. And for the people who are actually willing to do this thing, they will have access to this knowledge and to this channel, so they can probably find some useful information, and they can probably have some some guidelines, and just somebody that they can watch and probably follow the same steps. So with that being said, this is something that really excites me, but at the same time really scares me. Although, I truly want to believe that this is going to pay me off in the future. Hence, I truly want you to stay with me, see how this whole thing plays out, and yeah, share your thoughts with me whenever you hear any challenges from my side. Maybe you've had the same challenges. So yeah, stay tuned. This is just the beginning of my mission, and I'll see you in the next one.